The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus went across the Sea of Galilee. A large crowd followed him because they saw the signs he was performing on the sick. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat down with his disciples. The Jewish feast of Passover was near. When Jesus raised his eyes and saw that a large crowd was coming to him, he said to Philip, "Where can we buy enough food for them to eat?" He said this to test him, because he himself knew what he was going to do. Philip answered him, 200 days' wages worth of food would not be enough for each of them to have a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter, said to him, "There is a boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what good are these for so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people recline." Now there was a great deal of grass in that place, so the men reclined, about 5,000 in number. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed them to those who were reclining, and also as much of the fish as they wanted. When they had had their fill, he said to his disciples, "Gather the fragments left over so that nothing will be wasted." So they collected them and filled 12 wicker baskets with fragments from the 5 barley loaves that had been more than they could eat. When the people saw the sign he had done, they said, "This truly is the prophet, the one who is to come into the world." Since Jesus knew that they were going to come and carry him off to make him king, he withdrew again to the mountain alone. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Paano ba pakakainin ng 5,000 katao kung 5 piraso lang ang tinapay at 2 piraso lang ang isda? At yung tipong lahat sila mabubusog at magkakaroon pa ng sobra na 12 kain ng mga tira-tira. Well, of course, if you stick to the mathematics of it, the way the disciples did. And we're told na nag-mathematics na itong si Philip kasi na-calculate na niya kagad that they would need 200 days worth of wages para bumili ng sapat na pagkain ipapakain sa mga tao. It was his way of saying, impossible. And so, when the 5,000 are actually satisfied and 12 baskets of leftover are actually collected, ang tendency ay tawagin itong milagro. John the Evangelist, is not very fond of the word miracle. Hindi niya ginagamit ang word miracle sa kanyang ebanghelyo. He prefers to use the word sign. Isang palatandaan. Alam niyo, lumaki ako sa isang malaking pamilya. 13 kaming magkakapatid. So I had 6 brothers and 6 sisters. I never thought of ourselves as poor, but many years later, I would look back and realize that we had very meager resources. And yet, I never felt I was deprived of basic needs. Because sa pamilya namin, we always shared everything in common. Hindi lang yung pagkain. Hindi kami sanay yung kanya-kanyang kain. No? It's like you eat together. At kung may isang bangus, hindi tagitlig isang bangus. Kukurot ka lang dun sa bangus. Sharing. And we shared our clothes and our shoes. Yes, almost everything. We were never programmed to say, my room. Anong my room? Wala nga kaming mga private bedrooms. Common rooms lahat. Common room for the boys, common room for the girls. Common rooms. Bihisan lang yung rooms. Ang tulugan namin, yung sala namin. Sa banig, na may kulambo. Buhay probinsya. We never said, my money, my cellphone. Wala pang cellphone noon. Even the closets in which we put our clothes, common din siya. Kaya, minsan, hahanapin mo yung favorite t-shirt mo, hindi makikita mo suot ng kapatid mo. Oh, no big deal. Magsuot ng iba. When people hear that lahat kaming magkakapatid natapos ng college at naging mga professional lahat, akala nila dahil mayaman kami. Hindi ho. Paano? Paano kayo napatapos? Milagro ba yun? Hindi rin. It just had to do with a shared lifestyle, a lifestyle of sharing that we grew up with. At akala namin, it was common in all families. I only discovered later that we were blessed with that kind of life. I realized that it was our real kayamanan. That lifestyle of sharing a common life. Why do the 5 barley loaves and 2 fish shared by one little boy constitute a sign? Bakit ito palatandaan according to the Gospel of John? What were they supposed to signify? Well, noong mga panahong yon, kapag yung tao gumawa ng tinapay from barley grains, ibig sabihin poor siya talaga. Dahil yung barley grains, pagkain lang yon ng hayop. Pero natutunan din ng mga mahihirap na gumawa ng tinapay from barley kung walang wheat, kung walang harina. And so, John is emphasizing for us na yung unang nag-share ng pagkain ay yung dukha. Kung sino pang mahirap, siya pang unang nagbahagi ng meron siya. And so, it became a sign. It became a sign that started it all. Yung paggawa ng barley, sabi ko nga, out of poverty, hindi naman unusual yan eh. Di ba? Sabi nila, necessity is the mother of invention. And I am sure applicable din yan sa pagkain. Ang dami nga nating klase ng pagkain na naimbento dahil sa pangangailangan. Dahil sa sitwasyon ng kalamidad, o giyera, o taggutom. Siyempre, pag taggutom, malangan namang pipili ka pa nung kakainin mo. Kakainin mo talaga kung anong meron. Whoever thought na pati yung kalaykay ng mga manok ay magiging delicacy at tatawagin pang Adidas. O yung bituka na tinatapon lang dati, gagawing barbecue at tatawaging PLDT. O yung embryo ay piprituhin at tatawaging kwek-kwek. Kailan kaya tayo unang natutong kumain pati nung puso ng saging? O yung ubod ng nyug? O kumain ng labong? O kumain ng mga grasshoppers at mga kamaro katulad namin sa Pampanga? Ang sarap-sarap ng insekto. I am sure ganyan din ang kwento ng mga Europeans when they learn to make something edible like yogurt and cheese. Pagpanis na yung gatas. Hindi porke napanis yung gatas, itatapon mo na. You can still turn it into something like cheese or yogurt. In poverty, natututo ang taong umimbento ng makakain at isishare pa niya. The Eucharist has always been more than a commemorative meal for Christians. Sabi ni John Paul II, saint na siya, Saint Pope John Paul II, the Eucharist or the Church draws her life from the Eucharist. Ang Eucharistia daw, pinaghuhugutan ng buhay ng simbahan. The same verbs pronounced at the institution of the Eucharist, hindi lang yun formula for consecration. Para sa atin, they are the formula for life. Yung apat na actions, He took the bread, He blessed it, He broke it, and then He gave it. Para sa atin, ito yung formula for life. Siguro that was why St. John was not comfortable with the word miracle. He preferred sign. Sabi ko nga, the feeding of the multitude was actually miraculous, but not in the magical sense or the supernatural sense. Too bad if all we can see as miraculous is the multiplication of food. Walang duda, may mathematics na involved dito. Pero hindi lang siya lahat about multiplication. Sa buhay ng tao, ang mathematics kung minsan hindi lang multiplication. It begins with a simple act of division, di ba? Baka mahusay ka ng multiplication, mahina ka naman ng division. And I'm referring to division in the positive sense. Kasi madalas yung division, negative ang dating sa atin. So, kung isang piraso lang ang tinapay, paano kakain ng 5 katao? Simple, di ba? Para sa mga dukha. Eh di, hatiin, hating kapatid. Meron lang isang African tribe. Ang tawag nila sa prinsipyong ito ay Ubuntu. Mga bata daw, tinest ng isang propesor. Bibigyan niya ng candy. Sabi niya, o sige, tumakbo kayo. Yung candy ang finish line. Ang unang makaabot doon, sa kanya lahat ng candy. And takbo sila. Pero you know what? Hindi sila nag-unahan. Nagkapit-bisig silang tumatakbo at sabay-sabay silang umabot sa candy. At pagdating ay pinaghati-hatian nilang lahat yung candy. Sabi nila, ito yung turo sa amin. Bakit namin uunahan yung iba para kami lang ang sumaya? Paano kami sasaya kung merong hindi masaya? Ang simple, di ba? Pero ang lalim, ang tindi. How does the Eucharist become a sign? When the act of dividing or breaking the bread motivates other people to do the same and leads to more sharing and creates a sense of abundance. Sabi ko nga, from division, it leads to multiplication. A multiplication that is unstoppable so that everyone is able to eat and get satisfied at may tira-tira pa. But how does the Eucharist become more than a sign? Kasi sa atin, it is a sacrament. Well, when Jesus takes, blesses, breaks, and gives the bread, but He says, "This is my body." Hindi na siya sign, only a sign through which a generosity breeds generosity. It becomes a sacrament of love, a sacrament of self-giving. The story of the bread that is taken, blessed, broken, and shared becomes the story of life itself. It is the story of salvation. Pero ang mahirap dito, pinaka-challenging dun sa 4 na verbs, He took, He blessed, He broke, and He shared. Pinakamahirap yung pangatlo, the breaking. It stands between the blessing and the giving. Di ba, nung i-celebrate natin ang 500th year of Christianity, ang theme, gifted to give. We are blessed to be a blessing to others. Pero alam nyo, hindi automatic yun. Hindi lahat ng taong blessed ay nagiging blessing sa iba. Hindi lahat ng taong pinagkalooban ay natututong mag-share sa iba. Kapag hindi niya natutunan yung third verb, the breaking, yung maging handa tayo doon sa breaking. And that involves the pain, the passion and death that can only lead to what we call Paschal mystery in the Christian faith.